Imagine looking up at the night sky and realizing that out there, beyond the calm glow of the stars, there are worlds so hostile, so extreme, that they could easily be described as nightmares made real. We live on a planet that, for all its chaos, gives us air to breathe, water to drink, and ground that doesn't burn our feet every step we take. But astronomers have found planets that defy every sense of comfort and safety we know. And in this journey, I'm going to take you through 5 of the most dangerous planets ever discovered. Each one is stranger than fiction, more terrifying than a science fiction story, and yet they are real. By the end of this, you'll see space in a completely new way, and maybe even rethink just how lucky we are to call Earth home. Stay with me until the end, because the last planet on this list is unlike anything you could imagine. A place where survival is not only impossible, it's beyond comprehension. Let's start by asking ourselves a simple question. What makes a planet dangerous? Is it fire? Is it cold? Is it storms that never end? Or is it something invisible, like radiation, that kills silently? The truth is, all of these exist somewhere out there, and astronomers have caught glimpses of these cosmic monsters through telescopes and satellites. Some are so close to their stars that they glow red with heat. Others are frozen wastelands where nothing could ever move. But among the thousands of exoplanets discovered so far, a handful stand out as the most extreme, the deadliest, the kind of worlds where life wouldn't just struggle, it wouldn't stand a chance. Let's step onto them one by one in our imagination and see what would happen if we ever dared to visit. The first stop is a planet that looks deceptively beautiful at first glance. It's called Kepler 78b. Imagine a world that orbits its star so closely that a year lasts only 8.5 hours. Think about that. If you lived there, you'd have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And by the time you went to bed, an entire year would have passed. The problem with being that close to a star is heat. Not the kind of heat we complain about during a summer afternoon, but heat that melts rock. On Kepler 78b, the surface is a literal ocean of lava. Rivers of molten stone would flow endlessly, glowing in orange and red, creating a landscape more like a furnace than a planet. Temperatures are estimated to reach around 2,000 degrees Celsius. To give you perspective, that's hotter than the surface of some stars. Imagine standing there. Your shoes wouldn't melt because you wouldn't even have time to put them on before being vaporized. The planet is a true hell. A fireball where no spacecraft could land and survive for more than seconds. The very idea of day and night collapses there, because the star dominates everything. A world so close, so fast, so furious, it feels like a punishment for daring to exist. Now let's move further away, to a planet that doesn't kill you with fire, but with glass. Yes, you heard right. A world where glass rains from the sky. This nightmare goes by the name HD 189733b, and it is one of the most famous exoplanets ever studied. From a telescope, it looks like a deep blue marble, almost like Earth. You'd think it was a paradise of oceans. But that blue isn't water. It's caused by silicate particles in its atmosphere. And here's where the horror begins. On this planet, winds blow at 7 times the speed of sound. Imagine hurricanes so strong they could rip skyscrapers off the ground like toys. Now, combine that with shards of glass carried by the wind. Picture yourself standing there, and within a fraction of a second, you'd be shredded to nothing. The glass rain, mixed with winds of 8,000 kilometers per hour, creates an atmosphere that is essentially a cosmic blender. The sky might look beautiful from a distance, but it's the kind of beauty that hides a death trap. a planet that shows us how deceiving appearances can be. Blue like the Earth, but deadly like a storm made of knives. If those two planets already sound terrifying, let me tell you about a place where diamonds cover the surface. But even if you wanted to grab one, you'd never live to brag about it. This is 55 Cancri E. It's often called the Diamond Planet, because astronomers believe its carbon-rich surface has been transformed by extreme pressure and heat into diamond. Imagine an entire world glittering with crystals, shining under the light of its star. It sounds like treasure beyond imagination. But here's the catch. Temperatures there reach nearly 2,400 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere is toxic, thick with carbon dioxide, and the planet is so close to its star that lava lakes likely boil on the surface. Even if diamonds literally paved the ground, no spacecraft could land and return. It's like a cruel cosmic joke. Riches beyond comprehension, locked away in a vault no one could ever open. It makes you think about how small our greed is in the face of the universe. What good is a diamond when you're melting in lava? 55. Cancri E is beautiful, yes, but it's also merciless. A glittering coffin in the sky. Let's travel to another world, one that doesn't burn, doesn't cut you with glass, doesn't tempt you with diamonds, but instead drowns you in eternal darkness. Tree S2b is known as the darkest planet ever found. To the human eye, it would look almost invisible. It reflects less than 1% of the light it receives. Darker than coal, darker than black paint, darker than any material we know on Earth. Imagine floating in space and suddenly realizing there's a planet in front of you, but you can't see it until you're about to crash into it. The reason for this darkness isn't fully understood, but scientists believe the atmosphere is made of chemicals that absorb almost all incoming light. Temperatures there are over 1,000 degrees Celsius, so it's not just dark, it's hot too. Standing on its surface, if it even has one, would feel like being swallowed by an endless void, surrounded by heat and gas. A planet that erases itself from the universe's canvas, as if hiding in plain sight. The idea of darkness that complete is unsettling. It's like staring into the concept of nothing itself and realizing that nothing could still kill you. And now, we arrive at the most terrifying of them all. A planet so strange, so extreme. It feels like the universe's way of showing us what true danger means. This world is called WASP-12b. If the name doesn't sound scary, just wait. WASP-12b orbits so close to its star that it's being slowly eaten alive. Yes, the star is literally devouring it. The planet has been stretched into the shape of an egg by tidal forces, pulled apart by gravity. Imagine Earth being grabbed and torn into pieces bit by bit. The star's heat has expanded the planet's atmosphere until it leaks into space, creating a trail of gas that spirals into the star like smoke being sucked into a fire. This planet has a death sentence written in its orbit. Astronomers estimate that in a few million years, WASP-12b will no longer exist, completely consumed. Think about that. A planet alive right now, slowly dying in front of its parent star, with no escape. If you could stand on its surface, which you couldn't, the sky would look like it was on fire, the star filling half the horizon, pulling the very air from your lungs. WASP-12b isn't just dangerous, it's doomed. A planet that reminds us how fragile everything in the universe can be, even giants. So, after visiting these 5 worlds, what do we learn? We learn that the universe is not built for comfort. It's built on extremes. Lava oceans, glass storms, diamond infernos, eternal darkness, and planets being eaten alive. Each of these discoveries tells us something profound. First, It shows how unique Earth is. Second, it reveals the creativity of nature itself, crafting places that challenge our imagination. And third, it reminds us of our curiosity. We look at these worlds not because we want to live there, but because they tell us about what's possible. And in that exploration, we find meaning. Now, I want you to think about something. Every one of these planets was once invisible to us, dots hidden in the glare of their stars. And yet, with persistence, scientists found them, studied them, and shared their stories. It makes you wonder how many more nightmares are waiting out there. Maybe the next planet discovered will rain acid, or freeze everything in seconds, or be made entirely of gas that glows like neon. The universe doesn't run out of surprises, and the deeper we look, the more we realize that truth is always stranger than fiction. So let me close with this. When you look up at the night sky tonight, remember that behind the twinkling stars are worlds you can't even imagine. Some beautiful, some terrifying, all beyond our reach. And if you enjoyed this journey, if you want to keep exploring the strangest, most curious corners of the cosmos with me, then share your thoughts below. Tell me which of these planets shocked you the most. Comment. Share this story with someone who loves mysteries. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss the next journey. Because the universe is vast, full of secrets, and we've only just begun to uncover them.